What's up, gamers? For this video, I want to talk about why Ocarina of Time means so much to me as a game. You know, completely original thing. No one else on YouTube has ever done this before in their entire life. It's gonna be different though, because it's my own personal experience. It's different. Okay, so be me, B5, have too much goddamn time on my hands. I mean, I spent hours into games like Mario 64 and other 3D platformers like Rocket Robot with Wheels. But there was one game that captured my imagination more than any other game in my pile of games. Most of the games were sports games. God damn it, Cody. They're all sports games. They're all the same shit. Why do we have so many of them? Why do we have so many goddamn... The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. There it is. Tap, tap, tap. So Ocarina of Time starts up and you name your guy like Jamie Foxx or some shit. And then a tree talks. And he says a lot of things, and I'm a baby, I can't speak. I was like 5, so a lot of this didn't matter to me. The game starts up, you get out of bed, you walk around the town, you get a sword, a shield, you can talk to the tree again, and yeah, that's kind of that was the whole game. That was all I thought the game was. Again, I was like really young, so I guess I didn't really know how to, you know, understand what I needed to do exactly. I knew you could go inside the tree, but that was kind of dank and creepy, and I didn't really want to deal with that, so I didn't. So for a good like 7 years of my life, I had Ocarina of Time, and I would play it on end. Like, I played the game. All I would do though was just kind of live around the town. Like, I'd walk around, go into people's houses, break their pots, break rocks. I'd walk around the Lost Woods. That was like it. I mean, I did basically the same stuff that I would imagine Link in Universe would have done as a kid. You know, there's not a lot to do there. And I seriously thought that this was like the whole game. Like, look, I got footage. This is me showing my brother's friends the game. Like, I'm just showing it off. Like it's the most amazing fucking thing ever. I'm not even showing them the whole fucking game. I'm just showing them the opening area. Meanwhile, they're just sitting there like, oh, I want to play Ken Griffey Jr.'s home run baseball. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, Cody. This is my birthday party now. You don't get your friends back. Anyway, it wasn't until like years later that I discovered a thing called the internet. So I go online and it's on like #1 on all these lists. I'm like, oh, you mean the Fairy Boy game where you just live in a forest? I guess it's good. However, it turns out there was a whole fucking game. You actually are supposed to solve the dungeon inside the tree, and then you unlocks like a whole world for you to do, and then you gotta go do more dungeons, and I'm like, oh, okay. After figuring that out, I went through, did it myself, and it blew my mind. Just seeing Hyrule Field for the first time after being stuck in the secluded Kokiri Forest for so long, I was like, oh wow, there's a whole world here. There was a whole world inside this game cartridge the entire time, and I just didn't know how to play the game. And it was really impressive, and I blew my mind for a matter of like 5 seconds, and then I went back to playing Shadow the Hedgehog on GameCube, because it's 2006, and I want to play my violent game with fucking Sonic. Anyway, now you're probably wondering, why did I title this video Why Ocarina of Time is so important to me, when clearly I didn't even know how to play the fucking game correctly. It's because the game didn't really matter as much to me until I beat it on the 3DS, because then everything kind of made more sense to me. I had grown up my entire time just doing all this stuff in Kokiri Forest and living it that way, and then one day it all opened up to me, and I completed this great adventure. I beat it on a flight coming back from Washington, DC on like a school trip. I was sitting next to my computer teacher, Mr. Adams, if you're watching this. Thank you for being such a cool neighbor. But yeah, I beat the game on a flight, and I don't know what it was. It was like this connection between the future and the past. You know, it's like the game a little bit. Although both those events are in the past now. This doesn't work. But it was this revelation. It's like I was Link. I spent all that time in my childhood running around Kokiri Forest and like really getting to know the people. I talked to the same people for like 7 years, and the dialogue never changed. Beating it on that flight really kind of opened it up to me. I'm like, wow, games can be so much more. And it was the first Zelda game I beat, actually. After that, I decided to check out more games in the series, and thank God I did, because Zelda is not like one of my favorite game franchises ever. Breath of the Wild is probably my favorite game in the entire series. Don't know if that's controversial or not. I don't know if you know this, but Ocarina of Time is like one of the highest games ever rated. Ooh. But Breath of the Wild is super fucking good. I love that game a lot. I'm looking forward to the sequel and Hyrule Warriors. The main purpose of this video is just to kind of look back at how I used to play games compared to how I play them now, because I feel like I don't generally have enough time to play games like I used to. And I generally will pick one up, play it for a little bit, and then move on to the next one. And as a kid, being stuck with only like the same few amount of games, your imagination opens it up. I played Ocarina of Time almost like how you play Animal Crossing, which is also funny because Animal Crossing is one of my favorite games. You guys ever talked to you about Animal Crossing? I just wanted to point out that's kind of interesting how, as a child, a game can be one completely different game that you make within the game itself. And I think this honestly attests to just how groundbreaking Zelda was at the time. I mean, the amount of detail in the environment really made it feel like I could live in this place and kept me entertained even though I was doing the same shit over and over again. Anyway, this was a simple video. Yeah, the title's a little bit clickbaity, but it's YouTube. I think you could be forgiven for that kind of thing, right? Right? But I want to know more stuff about you guys. How did you guys play Ocarina of Time? Did you also get stuck for like decades and then learn how to actually play the game? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.